answering, I should be looking at the screen.
Hey, how's it going? This is Josh Sampiero from Windsurfing Magazine. I'm here at the Maui Sails Loft with the man, Barry Spanier, head designer for Maui Sails, and you guys helped me come up with a couple questions to ask Barry about Maui Sails and sail design and windsurfing in general. So we're just going to jump right in. First, though, let's say hi to Barry.
Aloha.
I'd like to point out, we were downstairs and I said, Barry, do you have a Maui Sails t-shirt or something you could put on for the interview? And he pointed to the little logo, and this shirt that Barry is wearing is 25 years old, and it is from the first incarnation of Maui Sails. So it's a windsurfing relic right there.
The shirt. I'm a relic, too.
The shirt, not the man. So, no, Barry is a windsurfing legend. The shirt is a relic. So. Anyways, we're going to start with a question from Aaron Vieira, also known as the Human Catapult. And his question is, can a light and or soft feeling sail be as fast as a rigid feeling sail?
Well, I think sails are faster when they're reactive and soft, and the more rigid they become, they just demand more strength. So there might be a point where you can squeeze higher speed out of the rigid sail, but if you are really looking for the best all-around average, going fast all the time, being really comfortable, you're going to look for something that gives you a little relief too, something that reacts better, or something that responds. It doesn't jerk you or push you. It's always really easy to steer. That's kind of our goal.
Gotcha. So the feeling is that by having a little bit more control, you can actually achieve higher speeds and having the maximum amount of power.
Well, especially as it relates,
out of control.
Especially as it relates, if you go onto a speed course and you get on it and you blast, and in 20 seconds over 500 meters, you're going 50 knots.
Right.
So. Okay, so you got 20 seconds. You're just hanging on, and a lot of stuff can work really good in that kind of a circumstance. It's a lot to do with the sailor's strength, because you're going to be just massively overpowered, because that's speed sailing. But if you're talking about racing, where you're racing day after day and you're doing rounds of slalom every day, and you have to get out to the starting line and cruise around up and down and be ready to start and all the rest, there can be some advantage to being more comfortable and being at ease on the water and that sort of thing.
Gotcha. Okay. iWindsurf user Upwind had a similar question. He's saying that manufacturers offer soft feels in some rigid sails. What, for your average sailor, what's the biggest advantage to a soft sail? Is it control?
Well, softer is easier on you.
Yeah.
I mean, if the thing is light and responsive and not jerky and pushy, then it's going to be more fun to use, and you're still going to get these same kind of speeds, but especially for lighter, more average-sized people, this is really good. If you're a great big guy and you're really fit and strong and you weigh 230 pounds, well, you can pretty much overpower just about anything and make it work really good. But
Gotcha.
That may not be right for somebody who weighs, 165 or 75 or something, which is more of an average-sized person. So.
Gotcha.
Our sails are developed by a crew of people that are in the 180 to 200 pound range, and a lot of the testing happens with that size, and so they tend to be good for the average size person rather than somebody who was really big.
Gotcha. So iWindsurf user Serge asked, he wants to know what target sailor height and weight Maui sails are made for. You've told us what kind of sizes are used to develop them. Let's say you fall to either end of that spectrum. For instance, someone who is 220 pounds. How would you tune the Maui sails differently to accommodate that?
Well, I mean, we have examples of that right now. We got, in our wave sails, we have a sail called the Ghost. And Fred Haywood has definitely
That's the one that I use.
expanded his personal portfolio a little bit, and so he's packing a load, and when he sails the sail, he's tuning it with just a little bit more downhaul. It's bending the rig more when he loads the rig, and
Gotcha.
because the
So he's rigging bigger.
well, he's rigging bigger, but he's also loading it up more.
Gotcha.
So he has to tune it a little different than somebody who weighed 150 pounds or 160 pounds. But I think with the kind of masts we use, which are much, they're a little different bend than, the extreme kind of soft top. They're more even, and those kind of masts lend themselves to a really broad tuning range. And I know that in the gorge now we have people using 3.3 and 3.5 and 3.7 a lot, and women who are much smaller are finding that those little tiny sails have great range for them when they're in their wind range. And then there's guys like Mike Van Sisseren who are, he's a bigger guy, and he's using a little bigger sail and more wind, and he's finding the same kind of range. So there has to be something about it where there's a decent balance between that sort of even flex characteristic and the ability to be able to tune the sail through a wider range of conditions.
Gotcha. So that kind of leads into a question from James Douglas. Would you say that your sails have atypical mast curvatures compared to the norm among a lot of the other brands?
Well, I saw an article in a French magazine where a guy had basically analyzed a large number of masts on the market, and there's one brand that is definitely atypical, at least on his examination, and it's way out, on its own.
Uh-huh.
And then when you get down to where our bend is, it's kind of clustered. There's quite a few brands that have bends that are similar, and we know there's other masts that work on our sails reasonably well, and so we're not out in left field at all. I think that there is an atypical mast bend, but it's not ours.
Are we going to say who that is?
Yeah, I know. Jamie knows who it is.
James probably knows who it is, I guess. Readers, if you can guess and comment, then I might send you a free hat for the person who guessed right.
Was a former employer of mine.
A former employer of Barry's. There's a hint right there. Okay. We have a very specific question from iWindsurf user Waiting for Wind, who has a Switch 7.0, I believe, and he likes to ride with his boom pretty high, but the batten kind of interferes with the placement of the boom. He says it's difficult to get on, and the boom head
hits at the batten.
Hits at the batten.
Well, I'd have to apologize for that.
Okay.
I mean, we wanted to put 6 battens in that sail, and to be able to space them evenly in general for the thing, we were taking the batten right to the top of the cutout. And either you put the cutout in a weird place or the batten spacing gets really weird. So we felt it was okay to do that. And, there haven't been really a lot of complaints. So it must come from tall people.
Gotcha. All right.
So this is a tall guy who's putting his boom at the top of the cutout.
Uh-huh.
And I'd have to say, I have to look at that next time. Maybe we can adjust that.
Gotcha. Cool. All right. This question is a little out there, but actually I think pretty cool. It's from a Facebook user, Josh Shirley. And it's, how does height and width of a sail affect its performance? Why don't we have a 40-foot tall sail that's 2 feet wide versus a 10-foot sail that's 8 feet wide? Why not skinny and tall to reach clean, stronger wind up high?
I think that's what kites are for. You don't get any taller, and that's the problem. Is that you're only so tall, and you have to manage whatever it is.
Essentially, it's a question of leverage. The human body.
The human body. I mean, if we were talking about other, a stayed rig, higher aspect up there, working with a kind of a blade shape could be really great, as long as you have some ability to be able to control that. As soon as it gets beyond, I mean, I think we're pushing a lot anyway to go 6 meters. You know, a 12-meter race sail's got a 6 point something luff length.
Gotcha. So until humans grow to be like 10 or 11 feet tall, the chances of us seeing 25-foot tall masts are unlikely.
7-foot basketball players started racing formula. You know, nobody could ever win anymore.
Gotcha.
You know, this is the thing. The size rules. You know, it's just a fact. Size rules. You go into the speed world. You go into the slalom racing world, and it's big guys, because big guys can hold more sail area than a little guy can. I mean, whether it's from their strength or just their body mass alone.
Gotcha.
And the taller they are, the more leverage. So, you know, a guy who's 6'4", 6'5", like Torkel Christensen, or you know, some of these other guys, the Musulman brothers are like that. You know, they have a lot of leverage. They have their weights up high. They're really fit. They've got big shoulders and arms, and they're very strong. Well, more horsepower. You can control it. You can go faster.
If I can teach Shaquille O'Neal to windsurf, will you build him a 15-meter sail?
That's what you need. We built sails for a guy who was a former basketball player. He was 6'10", and
oh, really?
Yeah, some Bay Area guy, and we built a lot of stuff for him. And we built, you know, higher clues and higher cutouts, and changed a bunch of other things, and he was pretty stoked.
Cool.
But you know, the guy never used a sail that was much smaller than about 5'8". So I can't remember his name. He's a venture capitalist, very successful.
Cool. Is he still windsurfing?
I don't know.
Let's check into that.
He hasn't gotten anything special from us lately. This was like would have been in the late 80s or early 90s, when we were still building custom sails at Maui Sails in Honolulu.
Gotcha. Along the lines of this question, Chris Voigt asked, what is the point for diminishing returns for sail size? Like, I believe 12.5 is still the formula limit. Like, do you think, is there any earlier playing threshold to be achieved by going bigger, in your opinion?
Well, I think you possibly could have a narrower and narrower range of success planing early. But, you know, you're going to quickly find you're out of that range. You know,
Gotcha.
So you're going to accelerate the plane, and suddenly you're going to have 18 or 20 knots of apparent wind, and then you know, your sail has to be capable of handling that. Maybe you're big enough and strong enough to handle it, but at some point, can the sail handle it? And then, you know, once the sail begins to get blown out and backwinded and everything, then that's definitely diminishing returns. So, as soon as you can't really sheet your sail in effectively anymore, you're losing.
Gotcha. Cool.
Especially if it's making your board fly.